On behalf of Mayor Walsh, Commissioner Evans, and the mayor's entire team in the city of Boston, I want to welcome all the graduates here. In particular, I also want to congratulate the family members that are here and the little ones that are here on only all good things to come for the graduates today. My name is Dan Mulhern. I head up the Mayor's Office of Public Safety. There's a couple of members of our team right over here to the right, Conan Harris, Sheila White, Linda Lopriori, and an adopted member, Jaquil, is also with us. So this whole program started when Mayor Walsh came into office. Some of you, I think, probably have heard his story. He came out and spoke to the graduates around making it clear that none of us are just one thing, and mistakes that we have or may have made in the past don't define where we go in the future. He's probably the best example of that that I've ever been around. And that's how Operation Exit was born. The second conversation that we had after speaking with the mayor about maybe creating this program was with Commissioner Evans. The first question that the commissioner asked when we presented him with this idea around the police department supporting it is how can we help? We're 100% in. As many of you may know, it's a bit of a bittersweet day. Today, the commissioner announced that he's moving on to another opportunity. The press has been chasing him around all day. Many people that are close to him have been chasing him around all day, and he's still carved out time to be with us tonight, most importantly the graduates tonight, because of his love for the program. So the first person that I'm going to ask to come up and say a few remarks is Mayor Walsh, but I just want to say a few quick thank yous for him so that he doesn't have to go through a whole long laundry list. For the graduates in the room and your families, I want you to look in this direction, and everyone from the mayor's leadership team, if you could just raise your hand from City Hall that are here. So we have our chief of staff, we have our chief of policy, we have our chief of operations, and you have our public safety team. Bobby, could you raise your hand? Also, we have a representative from our also returning citizens, and in the back of the room we have a number of other people from the mayor's team. The only reason I point that out to everyone in the room is this is a City Hall effort, and without the support of everyone in our building, that this wouldn't be possible. And so the first person I'm going to ask to say a few things is Mayor Walsh.
Thanks, Dave. Thank you, Dan. Let me just thank all of our partners here first, because if we didn't have our partners, we wouldn't be able to do this program. Local 17, thank you for opening your hall to us. Local 17 has been probably our most consistent partner by using this facility for all of our Operation Extra graduates, and one of the first unions to step on to Building Pathways when we created that. YOU, the Building Trades Training Director Association, the building trades, construction trades, district council. Brian, thank you very much for your work and everything else. The Boston Police Department, obviously Commissioner Evans and the entire, all the police officers who helped. Many of you young guys got in this program maybe through one of the police officers that you knew. They got you into the program, so I want to thank the police. Roy Martin and our team at SSYI from the Boston Public Health Commission, Boston Center for Youth and Families, the Street Worker Program, all of our building trade unions, Joe Donato, the program executive. As you know, Joe couldn't be here today, he's having surgery, so I'm sure a lot of you became close to Joe as time went on. This class, I'm inspired by this class because that Friday that I came down here, I know that there was some tension that week. I was literally driving around, and Danny said to me one day, if you go down to the Union Hall at all to talk to the class, we'd love you to go down. I was in Dorchester that day, so I said, I'm going down the hall. So I turned the car around, I came here, and I talked to you guys. And you've been through a lot, and I know that you're going to work hard to build a life. There's an opportunity here. You must have heard that probably 100 times in the last few weeks about an opportunity. This is a game changer. This is a life changer. This 3-week pre-apprentice program that you just went through, you'll look back on this at some point in your life and say, thank God I was wherever I was when somebody mentioned this program to me. Because you have an opportunity now to set your life and set for your family a life second to none. I see a lot of little babies here. and that's great because you can look at your sons and daughters and look at them in the face and understand that you're going to give them everything that you didn't have. You're going to be able to give them an opportunity they might not have had. You're going to give them an opportunity to put a roof over their head. You're going to be able to make sure that if you want to send them to public school, they send them to public school. If you want to send them to private school, you'll be able to send them to private school because you'll be able to have the resources to do that. Those of you that aren't married, don't have kids, it's an opportunity for you as you build up your future down the road and what you could potentially could have. The day I was here, I was in the room, I was talking to you guys, and right after we hugged in the hallway about the plumbers union, I went outside and there was a young man here and he pulled up in a BMW. And he was dressed in his work gear and he came up to me and he gave me a hug and he said, thank you. He goes, I was in the first Operation Exit class. I'm 2 years now in the Carpenters Union. I just bought this brand new BMW. He looked good, he looked sharp, he looked clean, he was out of trouble, wasn't involved in stuff. And that's what you have an opportunity. Those are the material things that you get. But you also get the inside things. It's a peace of mind in your brain that you don't have to worry about what's happening in the street. That's probably the most important thing you're going to get out of this whole thing. Is that you don't have to be in the game anymore. You don't have to be running around. You don't have to be looking over your shoulder. You have an opportunity really to give yourself an opportunity to move forward. So I just want to say, you are a game changer. You are inspiring. Commissioner Evans is going to come up here in a minute, and we generally, when I'm talking to the newspaper, there's a microphone in my face. And it's after a shooting, and we have to talk about what's happened in the neighborhood. And generally, it's somebody between the ages of 17 and 40 that's shot. And generally, the person that created the violent act is around the same age. And a lot of times, people don't think that it can change the culture in the community. And I know that we have enough cases. I've seen enough young people that I have talked to that have turned their life around completely because they're presented with an opportunity and a chance. And it's up to you now to take this opportunity and take this chance and run with it. It's up to you to have a good, positive attitude. It's up to you sometimes to take a little crap too, because you're going to work construction. It's not like a big hug thing and we love each other on the job, sometimes a little tense. But there is an opportunity here. I don't want to go to any more scenes where a young person's killed. I don't want to go to any more community meetings where I get yelled at for what's happening in the neighborhood. Myself and the commissioner start the morning every morning. We talk about what happened the night before. And from July 7th until July 21st, every day we spoke, there was no homicides in the city of Boston. And we felt really good about it. And we felt really good the violence was down. And then on July 21st, the commissioner texted me at 4:30 in the morning, and he talked to me a little later that morning, and he said, we had a homicide last night. And there's no homicide that I've seen in the city of Boston that was a homicide that was a good homicide. There's no homicide I've seen in the city of Boston that was like, oh God, that's a good homicide. They're all bad homicides. Because somewhere down the road, there's a young person and they take that wrong turn somewhere down the road. And sometimes that wrong turn has repercussions. That wrong turn sometimes will take you to jail. Sometimes that wrong road will take you to the streets and put you on the corner drinking out of a brown paper bag. And sometimes that wrong turn will put you in a grave. And 3 weeks ago, when you guys walked into this union hall, you were at a crossroads in your life. And you took the right turn. And you took the turn that's going to completely allow you the opportunity to be strong men in the city of Boston. So I just ask you a couple of things. Number one, I ask you as you continue to go out there, you continue to be mentors to young men and women and talk to them about the choices that they make in their life right now. You don't have to do that today, but I want you to show them the pathway that you took, because your pathways were crooked pathways, just like mine was. Trust me, as I said to you the day I sat with you guys, I didn't have a straight line to the mayor's office, and all of a sudden when I woke up in high school one day, oh, he's going to be the mayor someday. I had a lot of lefts and rights. So I want you to be mentors. I want you to be leaders to the young people in the city, particularly young black men in the city. And the young Latino men. I want you to be leaders to them. Secondly, I want you to understand that second chances are important. And just remember this, as you go on in your career and you become bosses and things like that in this career, remember this, you're going to get a kid coming across the door someday that might need a second chance. And just remember the opportunity that was presented to you to give them that same opportunity. Lastly, I just want to say to all the family members that are here, congratulations. You should be very proud of these graduates tonight. They accomplished something that a lot of people don't accomplish. You'll hear a lot of stats about, I'm not sure what the number, John, what's the number of people starting an apprentice class and finish?
Not too high.
Yeah, sometimes it's less than 50% and sometimes a little more than that. But you think about it, you've accomplished the first step in that. You still have a long way to go. But just all you gotta do is live your life a day at a time. You've already overcome the hardest challenges in your life, and this is just cake. This is the icing on the cake. So I want you all to believe in yourself and believe that your city and everyone in this room and people are here to help you to make sure you're successful in life. So again, thank you for the opportunity, and to all of you, my deepest congratulations.
I'm just going to correct the mayor. So all you young men and women that are graduates of the class, we have one female graduate also. So a couple of quick thank yous also to the Building Pathway team. I see Mary here, and where's Andrew? Andrew's way in the back. I can't, Mary, thank your team enough on behalf of the mayor, and in particular Andrew for his commitment daily. He was an awesome partner in the class, and Andrew, thank you so much for that. Also, just John, the mayor already thanked you very directly, but to your team, both Cheryl and Patty, I don't see, is Cheryl here to cheat? Okay, we can't thank you enough, Patty, for everything that you and Cheryl do behind the scenes on an informal basis and making the graduates feel welcome and like family in the building. So, John, I couldn't say enough about your team. We also have our partners from Roca in the back row. If you guys could raise your hands back there. They are a brother agency with our street worker BCYF program, and they're an awesome partner as well. I'm sorry for all the thank yous that I'm going through. And before I bring the commissioner up, there is one person that couldn't also be here. So, and humbly, in my opinion, two of the most important folks that have made the class successful are Joe Donato. You know what he's meant to you guys and Kiona on a daily basis. Joe, literally, his heart was broken that he could not be here with you. He rescheduled that surgery twice. The mayor was even willing to reschedule around Joe's schedule so he could be here with you, but Joe couldn't put it off any longer. So we talked, and everyone agreed to go out to dinner with Joe when he's back on 2 feet. But he's the heart of the program. And also, Commissioner, your staff, Deputy Superintendent Gerard Bailey, Jamie Miller is here. Jamie, if you could just raise your arm. Guys, you all met Gerard on a number of occasions. Jamie is a lieutenant in the gang unit right next to the chief of staff of the police department, Kevin Buckley. But Gerard has just been an awesome partner since day one. And I would have been remiss if I just didn't mention him not being here as well. So, Commissioner, with nothing further, please. Yeah.
Thank you, Dan, and thank you, Mayor. You know, a couple of weeks ago I came and I spoke to the class and talked about the opportunity and how important it was. I sort of talked about how, growing up myself, I lost my parents and my closest brother, and a local priest got me into a good school. And I grew up in South Boston, and I look at that opportunity and I say that was a game changer for me. I don't think I'd be here if someone didn't give me that opportunity. I think what the mayor said, and that's what you're getting, to do well in your life and really build a home, get a nice car, and provide for your family. That's what it's all about. What the mayor spoke about the violence, that's what keeps me awake at night. That's what I talk to in the middle of the night about the mayor. We're continually working to keep the city safe. And when I spoke to you a couple of weeks ago, I asked you, when you leave here, to try to mentor some young kids and do whatever you can to keep the kids out of the game with the guns and the drugs and the violence, because there's way too many guns out there, and there's way too many kids getting hurt by them. So, like the mayor said, today I announced that I was going to leave after 38 years on the job. you know, I've loved every minute of it. I really have. You know, and you know, what kept me awake, honestly, was the kids hurting themselves. And so, you know, like I said, I wish you all the best. You got some beautiful families here. Think of them and what you can provide them. I want to thank John and Brian for what they do, and Danny. This is a great program. You know, the BPD, I know when I spoke to you last time, it got a little testy a little bit, but you know what? Our main concern is your safety, your well-being. And we honestly do try our best. You know, the crime's coming down. We're real proud of the fact that we continually lock up less kids and try to keep them out of problems, and that's what this is all about. So, you know, and honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I wish you all the best. You know, it's a great opportunity. Please make us proud and do the right thing. Thank you all. Appreciate it.
And before I bring Brian up, I'm going to ask Darius to come up and say a word or two. Darius has already been out to greet you guys, I think at least one or two occasions, but he's also been a huge part of our Operation Exit team since I had a chance to meet him probably around 4.5 years ago. And Darius told you his own story, but after he had come home from a considerable amount of time away from his family and friends, and really he just wants to come out and congratulate you guys tonight. Darius.
How you doing, fellas and ladies? I just want to say congratulations, because I know it's hard to change, you know. And the good thing about this program is 3 weeks. 3 weeks usually forms a habit. So, you know, you guys, I know, a few of y'all, you know, the first week here was kind of rough, rocky, but, you know, now you're going into it, like I told you from the beginning. Go in, be early, be on time, and, you know, just learn your trade and be proud of who you are. You know, this is your new crew now. Like 223 is my crew, that's who I rep, so that's my squad now, you know. So just be proud of who you with now, and, you know, I'm proud of you guys, and just this is just the beginning, so don't think it's over now. And the change still is gonna come, like it's still gonna be obstacles come your way, you know, from people you grew up with, dudes you know from your past. I mean, you know, the choices you make is gonna be the choices that affect you, so everybody's different, but you know, you gotta do it what's best for you, all right?
So I'm going to ask Brian to come up. You guys all know Brian well, but Brian, you might be able to talk a little bit about to the families that are here, that how much business has already been contracted through the mayor and his efforts in the city of Boston, and what it will mean for everyone's future that is graduating from the program. Brian.
Thank you, everyone, and good evening. Congratulations, graduates. This program has been an incredible part of the building trades unions, and it has been for about 5 years now. And that can't happen without great partnership and great work. And I have to say, the leadership of Mayor Walsh and the entire team at the city, and 38 years of dedication, Commissioner, it's fantastic. And I'd just like to say a personal thank you on behalf of the trades to the entire city team that tries every day to make this city better. So can we have a round of applause for Mayor Walsh and his team? Thank you. And thanks to the building trades unions team, they have stepped up in every way. And this is an exciting time. I'm here today to say a huge congratulations. For the next 20, 30, 38, 40 years, you're going to be out there building our city. And to Danny's point, because of the team at the, Mayor Walsh and all their efforts, we have $15 billion of construction in the pipeline. That means $15 billion, that's right. It's actually $25 billion. So, and they're going to keep growing that number. So, what that means for us on a day-to-day level, the mayor touched on it. It means putting food on the table. It means wrapping your entire family in good health care benefits. It means a dignified retirement after all of your hard work. But that's what's in front of you. And I have to say to the crowd, this class has been incredible. Every time I left this room, you guys inspired me to work a little bit harder, because that's what you were putting into this class every day. I have to say thanks for that. And one other thing I think is exciting is we have gotten a text message or a picture to Mary or Andrew or John Healy, people who work every day, from building the highest tower, from rebuilding the Boston Garden, from rebuilding Fenway Park. That's what you're going to be doing next. So we have just a huge thanks to you. We can't thank you enough for joining the building trades unions and all the people who work so hard to make this opportunity possible. But we're excited. Unions mean first chances, second chances, third and fourth, however many you need to help you and your family and your community. So we're proud to be partners with you. Congratulations. We look forward to great things. And if I can just say one last thing, this is the first class, thanks to Mayor Walsh's pretty extraordinary efforts. Every person in this class has been placed at graduation for a career in the trades. So thank you to everybody.
I just want to give where's Johnny DePina? So Johnny, we're giving Johnny a shout out. I don't know if any of you guys know Johnny. I just met him tonight. He's a fourth-year apprentice in Local 17. And hold on, it gets better. It gets better. He's also the lightweight New England Golden Glove champion. And he's from our neighborhood, so thank you, Johnny. Before I bring up the team to give out the certificates, I do just want to say a special thank you to Pat Brophy and Cynthia over here to our left. So when we talked about kind of making sure that the mayor's vision around, look, there were no straight lines in life for any of us, the team that really came through internally, just in City Hall, in our building, around City of Boston placements, and around putting folks in our building that probably needed to be lifted up a little bit were Pat and Cynthia. So can't thank you guys enough for that, Pat and Cynthia. Thank you. Yeah, and I'm sorry, so you all know, you heard us talk a little bit about the Kraft Family Foundation. The reason that the Krafts aren't here tonight is because we carved out money for this class from a little bit of a different source, but the mayor, seeing the success of this program, went to Mr. Kraft and asked if they would put some money into the program to support us. They donated $100,000 to the mayor's efforts, and Ricky, about 2 months ago, they came through again with a additional $100,000 to make sure that our classes are paid forward moving ahead. So in particular to Mr. Kraft and his family and the Family Foundation, they've been an awesome partner for us as well. All right, the last person on the speaking podium is Ricky, and Ricky's going to say a few words on behalf of YU Boston. Roy could not be here this evening, and I'm going to ask anybody that put a young person in the seat to my left to come up here. Referral partner, and Scott, that includes someone from your team if you could. And Ricky's going to say a few words, and then the public safety team is going to come up also and give out some certificates. And then after we go through the certificate program, I'm going to put a couple of guys on the spot from the class, Kristen, and I think I'm going to put Brian on the spot probably to come up and say a few words on your behalf as well. Okay, if that's all right. Ricky.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Again, my name is Ricky Grant. I'm new to the Operation Exit team. I came on as a deputy director in May. And so this last iteration, this last cycle was my first time seeing Operation Exit up and close. I heard a lot about it. But there's nothing like seeing it up close and personal, watching Joe Donato teach these young brothers and sisters every day, watching them get up on time, get here, learn the trades, visit sites, see other men and women working, and just watching you all stick with it. I'm extremely proud, and so I just have to call out their names: Malik, Kiki, Christian, Dion, Walsh, Jaquan, Martinez, Dancy Rowe. I'm proud of you. And like, tell me your name again, bro. Darius, sorry. And like Darius said, this is just the beginning. You have my number, you have my phone. Please continue to call. If you've never seen this program up close and personal, I've done a lot of human service work since I've been coming up in Boston. I've never seen anything quite like this. I've never seen an opportunity for young brothers and sisters who've had challenges to gain access into the trades. And so through 3 weeks of training, if they can be diligent and consistent, which these graduates were. They were diligent and they were consistent and they made it happen. And so we want to give you all a round of applause. You earned it.
All right, Lynn, you want to come up? And guys, and any referral partners that put someone in a seat, can you guys come up also, please? street workers, anybody that puts someone on this side of the room. I also see Will, so Will Morales in the back of the room. Will Morales, Will, if you can just give everyone a quick wave. Will is the commissioner for Boston Center for Youth and Families. He's in charge of, for the most part, everyone behind me. Ricky, come on up this way. Ricky's going to call up the graduates, and Mayor, Commissioner, and Darius and Brian. If you guys can stand to Ricky's left, and we'll go down the line, and you get a handshake.
Brian Walsh. Kiana Tavares. Kiki now. My man Christian Scott. This young brother worked so hard. He was the leader of the class. Amazing job. Atta boy, Christian. Proud of you, Christian. Here we are. Here we are. This young man is already working. He's been working. He's in his work clothes right now. Dion Ruiz. Give another round of applause. He got his work clothes. Good crowd, fellas. Ray Rowe. Just proud, Ray.
Congratulations, Ray. Ray Rowe. Proud. No, you're good. Oh, absolutely.
Malik Montron.
Congratulations.
Anthony Flores. DeMonte Dancy. Can we just give another round of applause?
A couple of guys are going to come up. If everyone could just stay. Christian, I'm going to ask you and Brian. Brian, if you're okay to come up and just say a couple of quick words, or as long as you'd like, actually, on behalf of the class. All right.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Brian Walsh. I just got placed into 537 the Piper's local, and it's so powerful. I can't put it into words what it's going to do for me. When we first got here, you know, there's a little bit more than us, and one of the congratulations, guys, finally. You know, it was almost a too good to be true moment. You know, it's just like I've tried to get into unions in the past, and then, you know, it never worked out. And then I've worked non-union for a long time, and then, you know, I was getting in trouble, and like it was set up here, just in the right place at the right time. And again, I'd like to thank John for letting us have this as a home base. You know, the mayor, the police commissioner, congratulations on your retirement. You know, the Kraft Family Foundation, all the youth workers who are with us every day. You know, Andrew here with us on a day-to-day basis, making sure everything's on time.
Yeah, Drew.
All the boy, Drew.
Yep.
It stinks Joe's not here, you know, and I like to give him a little bit of a hard time. He's a good, cool guy, but prayers with him, you know, speedy recovery through he got a major knee surgery today, so we'll be linking up with him soon, right? Good, and yeah, I don't know, just coming in on time, you know, it's just the second chance, you know, I already, like they said, the peace of mind, you know, I already feel a sense of security, and, you know, and I haven't even put the boots to the job yet, and yeah, I don't know, and just what we've learned here, just to be on time and to, you know, just remain teachable and keep pushing. Thank you.
Damn, I don't even know where to start.
From the beginning.
That's a long time. We're gonna be here forever. I'm appreciative for this. We all come from somewhere tough, and things ain't always been easy for none of us. I'm appreciative for all of this. I got, you know, my son, my daughter, my significant other. It's all about them. Of course, I want to enjoy some of the fruits of my labor, but it's about them. I appreciate everybody that's been here for me. You know what I mean, from the beginning. I'm not gonna get too emotional. You know, I know where this is going as far as all of our futures, and I care about everybody. Everybody here know I love them. You know what I mean? From everybody, I love everybody, even the people behind me. You know, I'm very appreciative, man. I thank everybody. I ain't gonna get no big time. I ain't got on no Jordans today, so I'm gonna let them breathe. You know, I thank everybody, man. Wish everybody the best as far as their future goes with their families, you know, for themselves. My man Malik. Kiki, all 3 people. I'm gonna need y'all to wire up my house when I get that. Thank you, man. I love everybody.
I just have one more thing to add. People always say how to, like, so many, you know, different people from different areas and different walks of life come to the same room, and there's no friction. There was obviously a little in the beginning, and I've had a lot of time to reflect on it, you know, coming up to graduation, and I realize it's just that we're all here for the same thing, you know, to better ourselves and to better our families, and that's what it's all about. Congratulations, everybody.
Please get something to eat over there and hang out and say hello to the rest. Oh, one big photo? Yes? Ricky, smile please.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. All right, everybody right here?
Get some video for me too, man.
Okay. There we go. Ready?